PWCC is a great way to sell your sports cards. If you're looking for a way to support the Cajun Cardboard YouTube channel, consider using the promo code Cajun, all caps, C-A-J-U-N, when you're selling your cards on the PWCC marketplace. All right, guys, here we go. It is New Year's Eve, and I am in the lab down here in the swamps in Louisiana, grinding for you guys on a Sunday morning. It is the December Elite Goldin auction, but we are going to focus only on the top 48 Michael Jordan cards sold because there was a bazillion cards in this Elite. There was over 200 cards, and I don't have the time on New Year's Eve to do it. Besides, I got to get 2 other videos recorded today and then get home and shoot fireworks with kids and try not to blow people up. So let's get cranking. We'll start at the bottom row. Again, we're doing the top 48 Michael Jordan cards. This auction ended last night on Saturday night, December 30th. Again, I don't love the timing. And you guys stay tuned till the end because we are talking about one of the most stacked auctions we've seen in a very, very long time. The timing is just awkward. All these auctions ending at once. The PWCC Premier, I know Heritage had some monsters. This Goldin Elite had some absolute monsters, all ending in late December. It just seems like poor timing by the consigners, but it's not my job to judge other people and when they decide to sell their cards or move their cards. I'm moving cards right now on private platforms, or on this channel. Stay tuned and check out some videos. I'm going to start selling some more cards on this channel that are duplicates or cards that I need to consolidate to move up in the Jordan world. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get cranking. Do me a favor before we start. Here's a call to action. I got to get better at this. If you like getting auction recaps, PWCC Goldin, if you like hearing about Jordan cards, if you like hearing about 90s cards in general, or just NBA basketball and what the hell's going on and who the next great one is and who's going to win the title this year and what are some things to look for with each individual teams, and I'll bring guests on and we'll talk about that. If you just love NBA basketball and or basketball card collecting, hit the subscribe button for me. It costs you nothing. You can always skip a video if you don't like it, but hitting the subscribe button really helps me with YouTube. All right, card number 48. We're talking about the 84 star, number 288, Jordan. Goldin's going to call it a rookie card. It's a BGS 7.5. It does 45.84. SGC 8 Jordan Fleer rookie, 46.29. And then 2006 Upper Deck Chronology Letterman patch autographs. Remember, these patches were also autographed. That does 4,881. I was seeing if I could get a little big. There we go. Okay. On to the next row. First card we're going to look up in Card Ladder. And again, if you guys have never seen one of these auction recaps, I like to look up certain cards in Card Ladder. I've got about 15, 16, 17, 18 of the cards, so a little bit less than half of the cards pulled up in Card Ladder. We're going to take a look and see how they did in comparison to prior comps. So the first card we'll do that with is the 1997 Metal Universe Championship Hardware. It's a PSA 9. Card sells for $53.07. Remember, all of these results include the 20% buyer's premium. So $5,307 for that championship hardware. Here's what we're looking at over the last, 2 years. This card's only sold 3 times. On Card Ladder, we're going to look at the pop report. There's only been 142 graded by the 2 big companies, only 59 graded by PSA, and only 15 PSA 9s with 11 PSA 10s out there. The PSA 10 is valued at $33,000. The PSA 9 sells for $53.07 last night. That's more. That's like a 6 to 1 ratio. That seems like a big ratio to me. But just looking at the data, let's kill the pop report. There you go. The last time this card sold was about a year ago, a little over a year ago, about 55 weeks ago. Sold for $31.20. It jumps way, way up to $53.07, up 16.38% over the last 2 years. Next, we got the Interlake. This is a monster. These bitches are huge. It looks like a damn comic book. It's a gigantic Interlake Jordan number 1. This is a BGS 9. Good grade for this card. The BGS 9.5 is a very tough gem to find. I'm lucky to own a copy of that. $5,627 for that Interlake. We've got a dual autograph Jordan Magic. Really vibrant eye appeal card here. This one is serial numbered to only 10. It's a BGS 8.5 and it sells with a 10 autograph. Sells for $5,804. The Nike promo card in an SGC Gem 10 does $6,621. Speaking of humongous cards, this one's also a larger than normal card. And then an 86 Fleer PSA 8 Jordan does $6,710. A Jordan autograph from 2007 Upper Deck Ultimate Collection. This is his leadership autographs. This card does $8,540. This card, remember, is serial number to only 25. It's an on-card auto. It's a BGS 9, and it is a 10 grade for the autograph. $8,540 for that 2007 Upper Deck Ultimate Collection leadership auto. More Jordan autos, and there's a lot of these. It's going to be 3 more in a row on this whole row. The 2001 Upper Deck MJ Tributes, MJ Milestone. That's a really, really good looking card with Jordan shooting his patented fadeaway. A serial number to only 30. It's a gem 9.5 copy, and it sells for $91.01. And then we've got a Wizards autograph. Looks like a sign of the times to me. Again, I don't know anything about autographs, so I'm just calling it like I see it. 2001 Upper Deck Ultimate Collection. Ultimate Signatures, gold parallel, serial numbered to only 23. This PSA 8 with no grade for the autograph. PSA 8 does $9,150. And we're talking about 3 Jordan autograph cards that all do almost exactly the same number. And then lastly, the 98 Upper Deck Ionics Jordan autograph, BGS 9.5, also serial number to 23, does $9,151. Let's keep the autographed theme going here with the 2005 Upper Deck Exquisite BGS 7, really cool looking patch right there. 9 for the autograph. This one's serial number to 100, but again, it's going to outsell those others because Upper Deck Exquisite is just that product that people crave so much. It is such a big time part of those early 2000s years. This is the 3rd year Upper Deck Exquisite product. $10,065 for that Jordan. And then the next card we're going to look up, you guys may not be familiar with this. I don't own a copy of one of these cards, nor do I really delve into that foreign Jordan card stuff, but this is a 1989. I'm not going to pronounce it right. We'll call it the Chow Mouflon Yugoslavian number 72. Very difficult to find this card in a high grade. Very difficult to find this card, period. Very, very, very difficult to find this card in a high grade. This is a BGS 8, which makes it a pop 3. The card, the card last night sells for $12,017. Let's look it up. Here's the pop report. This bitch has been graded 23 times. What a coincidence. 23 total times between PSA and BGS. The BGS 8 is the highest grade that there is graded by Beckett, and there's only 3 of them. The gem rate is 0 PSA and 0 Beckett. PSA's never graded one higher than a 6. That's how rare this Yugoslavian Jordan card is. 25. Card sales for $12,000. I've got the highest selling Cal Mouflon 1989 Jordan cards in history, sorted by price, and this one blew out the prior record, which was $4,000 for an authentic BGS authentic version back in 2022. Even during the peak, an authentic sold for $3,161. This went on Goldin last night. This has to be, percentage-wise, at least in the conversation for the largest jump of any Jordan card that we're going to talk about today. The card jumped from $4,320. This BGS 8 best-in-class copy jumps all the way to $12,017. So congrats to the seller. Congrats to the buyer. It's a big piece. Jordan Rookie PSA 9, old typewriter label, does $12,200. 87 Fleer Jordan PSA 10 does $12,200. I've got that one pulled up. Not a rare card, about 2/3 as many as the 86 Fleer PSA 10. Card's been on an interesting journey here. Even during the last year, it's gone up significantly from 11,000 all the way to 18,000, where it peaked in August. And since August, we've had 4 consecutive downward sales from 14 to 13.7 to 12.6 to last night 12,200. All that being said, the 87 Fleer PSA 10 is a pop 212, and it is still up 11% over the last year. So interesting stuff there for that 87 Fleer PSA 10. Right next to it, another Jordan autograph from 98 Upper Deck. This one's serial number to 50. It does $12,200 in a 9.9 Beckett. Another PSA 9 Jordan. This one's a little bit newer label, it looks like. A little bit newer typewriter. This one, PSA 9, does $12,457. Again, with those, you're going to have to really hyper scrutinize what the card looks like, because not all 8s are the same, not all 9s are the same, and we know, and we're about to see in great detail, that not all Beckett cards are the same, because the subgrades mean so much on that 86 Fleer number 57 card. We're going to get to that in just a second. The only card that I was chasing last night in this Goldin Elite auction, and I chased the shit out of it, and I got murdered. It wasn't even close, was this 1997 Flair Showcase Legacy Collection Row 2 PSA 9. Remember, that second year Legacy Collection, those were serial number to only 100, sells for $13,420. Stay with me here. Here's the sale last night, 13,420. The sale before that was, most recent sale before that was another PSA 9 about 4 months ago, and it sold for 8,975. Let me just assure you, I went way over comps and I got blown out of the water. That card jumped over $4,000 from a sale just 4 months ago. And the sale before that was back in 2022 for 8,400. And the sale before that, you got to go all the way back to 2012 where the numbers are going to mean nothing. So you're talking about a card, and I've got this thing sorted by price. This is the highest price ever paid for that card. If we look at dates sold, that's your same results. It's a card that's gone up 3 consecutive times. Most recently, last night, selling for $13,420. Congrats to whoever kicked my ass on that. Comment below and let me know, and you can taunt me and make fun of me. But I wasn't going to $13,420. That was just too big of a leap for me in the current market. 1986 Fleer, another PSA 9, does $14,640. And then we've got a real interesting card here, a card that you're going to see in the Cajun Cardboard Michael Jordan hierarchy. What's that? What's the Cajun Cardboard Michael Jordan hierarchy? Click the playlist, go check it out. If you're a Jordan collector and you haven't heard of it, I don't know if you've been living under a rock. It's not the be-all, end-all, but it's a great guide for anybody who's interested in getting into collecting Jordan cards, specifically those from the 80s and 90s up to 1999. This is the 98 SPX Finite Spectrum, a very, very rare card. You very rarely see these cards, and we're about to look at the card ladder data to prove that. Serial number to only 25, PSA 8, just a really visually mesmerizing card. Sells for just shy of $15,000 last night. I've got this bad boy pulled up. There it is. It's not showing for whatever reason in Card Ladder yet. I've got it sorted by price. This sale of the PSA last night would be the second most anybody has ever paid for the card, with the most being way back in 2021. If we go by date sold, the last one that sold was in March. It was an 8.5 and it sold for $7,750. This one doubles it. This one jumps all the way to almost $15,000. That is a humongous jump. So another card that I did bid on. I will tell you, I bid on this card, but I was not getting anywhere remotely close to 15,000 on that one, nor was I getting close to 13,420 on the Jordan Legacy Row 2. So the theory out there that there was just too many good Jordans at one time available in one auction at a terrible date, maybe I'm just full of shit. Maybe you could throw that out the window, because those two cards crushed it. Those two cards did really, really, really well. Let's look at the Super Rave, right? There's the Super Rave. Remember, there's only the Super Rave for the Superman, card number 190 from 1997 Skybox Z4s. Another card you'll see featured prominently in the MJ hierarchy on Cajun Cardboard on my channel. BGS 8.5 does $15,872. Let's find it. Where is it? Here it is. $15,872. There's our sale. The last sale was about 8 months ago. It did $14,520 in a BGS 9. So not only did this sell for more, but it sold for more, and it was a half grade lower. If we go back before that, you got an $11,000 BGS 8. So this one looks like it sold for right about what we kind of expected it to at $15,872. So there's 3 cards. Well, let's go ahead and include this. The 1998 Classic 61. Of course, this is serial number to only 61. And this is not the base Classic 61. This would be, I guess you would call it a subset 61, card number 142C. The BGS 9 sells for $16,471. It's not showing up in here. The last one sold for $14,400, so a jump from the last one. But guys, go back and look at 2022 and 2021. And this is when my brain was exploding. I could not understand why this card was selling for so much. I know it's 90s. I know it's serial numbered. I know it's Jordan. But the card sold for $40,000. The card sold for $45,000 in 2022. And here we are about, what is that, 20 months later? No, that's not right. April 12. Yeah, 20 months later, and the card sells for about $15,000, $16,471. So an interesting, buffet for you to choose from. Cards in the $16,000 to $15,000 range. You got your Classic 61, number 142. You got your Superman Super Rave serial number to only 50 right here. You've got your SPX Finite, lowest serial numbered of the 4 options that sold for just shy of $15,000 in a PSA 8 slab. And then you've got your 1997 Legacy Collection, which I deem a tier 1 card in the Cajun Cardboard MJ hierarchy. And I think a lot of people agreed, it was a tough decision whether it was a tier 1 or a tier 2 card. It got the tier 1 tab along with all the other legacy collections. That row 2 sells for $13,420. So some interesting decisions to be made if you had around 15 grand in your sock last night and having to decide what to spend that money on. We've got a Jordan sign of the times here, serial number to 50 to $20,000, and SGC Jordan 9.5, which is kind of that gray area. It's like, what does that even mean? The BGS 9.5 is this. The PSA 10's this. The PSA 9 is this. It sells for $20,740, so a little bit less than the BGS 9.5, a lot more than a PSA 9. So the SGC Jordan 86 Fleer 57 stuff is just sort of a confusing kind of gray area, sort of a mezzanine level there. And then congrats to the great Josh Adams, I guess I can say this publicly, for picking up the 1997 Ultra Stars Gold BGS 8.5. He picks it up for $20,740. We've got it right. Chia, there it is, the 8.5. I've got this, all the BGS. Let's see, let's just narrow this down to the 8.5s because that's not going to be real helpful. Well, that's not going to help at all. So there hasn't been very many sales of those. Let's put all the BGSs in here. So the last 9.5 sold for $36,000 in July. I'll tell you, I also picked up my BGS 9.5 quad gem copy for, I think, $32,000, somewhere around the exact same time. The BGS 8.5 goes last night for $20,740. The 9.5, let's see what the highest price ever paid for this is. Wow, it's gotten all the way into the six figures. At one point, somebody paid $102,000, and then closely followed by a couple more BGS 9.5s, and 98, 96. The 8.5 last night. Congrats to Josh Adams. He picked it up for $20,740. Remember, the pack odds on those cards are you ready for this? For the Jordan Ultra Stars Gold, 1 in 28,800. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a very tough card to pull. Congrats to Josh. Another card that I had my eyes on, but I really would have liked a little bit higher grade, which would have pushed it out of my price range anyway. The 1997 Fleer Platinum, the Ultra Platinum Medallion, serial number to 100, iconic Jordan card. This PSA 7 sells for $20,740. I've got it pulled up as well. Again, not that many 7s have sold, so I've got all of the 97 Platinum Medallion Jordans pulled up here. And again, you can see the last 3 sales, $20,000 for a PSA 7 last night, which is the one we're looking at. And then you've got $32,000 for a PSA 9, which is a tough grade. And then you've got another PSA 9 that sells for $24,000. If you look at Card Ladder, even in the sales history now, if you click on the card, you can go click the little pop report, and it'll pull up the pop report. Even if the card's not in the Card Ladder database, you can just go through sales history and find the pop report, so you don't have to go to PSA and do your search and things like that. A really huge new feature in Card Ladder. But this PSA 7 is, as you can see, a pop 2 with about 16, 19 graded higher by PSA. So one of the lower graded PSA copies. But again, grade is everything on that card. It's a serial number to 100, but it's been graded 58 times. One wonders how many of those are cracks and resubs. Next to it, we've got a Flair Showcase Legacy Collection row 0. 96 Flair Showcase Legacy Collections were serial number to 150. This is a BGS 8.5 copy. It sells for $21,350. Here you go. This is all of the Legacy Row Zeros from 1996, regardless of grade. The last BGS sale was a BGS 9 about 3-4 weeks ago, and it sold for $25,800. So for an 8.5 to sell for about $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 less is probably about kind of what we expected. So that's about par for the course. Congrats to whoever picked that card up. That's a monster. I know a lot of people prioritize the row 0 over any of the other rows. And then the prior sale before that was a PSA 8 for $18,600. And so the BGS 8.5 going for about $3,000, a little bit shy of $3,000 more than the last PSA 8 is kind of a big deal. That's kind of it's almost like a jump, right? Because I think most people would value the PSA 8 more than the BGS 8.5, if only slightly. We got a Jordan 98 Upper Deck Encore autograph, serial number to 50. That is a BGS 9.5 mixed gem, and serial number number to 50. It sells for $21,354. A jambalaya BGS 9 does $22,570. That's what that looks like. So this is a card that's been on an interesting journey these past 2 years, like many other Jordan cards. Selling for as high as $72,000 about 22 months ago, dropped way down to $25,000. I mean, that's a massive, massive drop. Dropped again, almost another $9,000 to $16,800. Bottomed out at $16,200, and then the last two sales have both eclipsed the $20,000 mark. So this is a card that's sort of interesting and on the run, and it's a tale of two graphs, right? If we go back and we look at the 2-year graph, you're looking at a card that's down 70%. But if you look at the 1-year graph, you're up 34.35%. So it's all about perspective and timing and price point, and when you jumped into that, into that BGS 9 jambalaya game, sorry. 96 UD3 commemorative autograph, PSA 8, 9 for the autograph, does $23,180. And then we're going to look at, I think, 3 copies of this one, the 1984 Star number 101. This is the PSA 7 copy, so this is the poor man's copy. I say poor man's, it's freaking $25,000. Like you could get, it's like a damn Honda Accord. But 84 Star 101 PSA 7, and again, remember, they're not all the same. A lot of these centering is going to be a really, really big deal. Sometimes color is going to be a big deal. $24,400 for this Star PSA 7. There's your chart. That's what the PSA 7 chart looks like over the last 2 years, down 15%. But again, tale of two charts. Over the last year, this son of a gun is up 56.41%. Remember, we're starting from bottom, one price point to another, and don't ignore all of the sales data in between. That's very important. But if you look at only the last, 4 sales, let's see if we can narrow that down to 3 months. Let's see. Over the last 3 months, this is kind of what you're looking at. 6 sales seems like a lot for a Pop 60 car. That's 10% of the population. 22,000, 23,000, 20,000, 20,000, 20,000, and then this huge one jumped to 24,400. So big sale last night for that one, 24,400 for the PSA 7. A Jordan autograph hand serial number, the way God intended, to 23. BGS 8.5, 10 for the auto from 99. Upper Deck MVP Pro Sign does $25,000, which is 1,000 shy of a BGS 9.5 Min Gem. Michael Jordan number 57 rookie card, which did $26,844 last night. Like I said, this looks like the EKG for a fat guy on a treadmill. We say that all the time on the channel. The last 2 years, it's been nuts. It's down 64%, getting destroyed. There's no question about that. Over the last year, it's a little more stable, but again, you never know what you're going to get. So last night was a sale, 26,000. 2 sales ago, 39,000, right? The sale before that, all the way down to 27,000, right? And then you're going to jump all the way up here at 96,000. So the subgrades on this card you're looking at right here, might mean more than the subgrades on any card out there in the entire hobby as far as a percentage change in the value. It just is what it is. It's one of those deals where, Gem Pluses. And it's because people are playing the PSA game, right? They're thinking of maybe buying the BGS 9.5 quad and, cracking that thing, which would make me nervous as hell. But there's people out there with balls of steel and steady hands. And maybe there's some orthopedic surgeons out there that are doing this, but they're cracking their BGS 9.5 quads or BGS 9.5 Gem Plus or Gem Plus Plus. And then they're trying to cross those things over to PSA 10. And if you got the balls to do it, who can blame them? Because you're talking about going from a $26,000, $30,000, $35,000 card to a $200,000 card. Yes, $200,000 for a PSA 10 Jordan 86 Fleer 57. Stay tuned. More of that to come. $31,720 for a 2003 Upper Deck Jordan LeBron dual on-card autograph from SP Authentic. It's a dual signature, $31,720 for that card. PSA 8, 9 for the autograph. Did I get that right? PSA 8, 9 for the autograph. Another Jordan patch autograph with a really cool triple color patch, 2005 Upper Deck SP Game Used Authentic Fabrics. $31,720, and this card is serial numbered to only 10, with a 10 for the autograph. That's a big boy Jordan autograph card right there. I've always loved the SP Game Used, even though I don't own a single one. $31,720, and then this is a card that is a hot topic of conversation. It is a retro or throwback or whatever you want to call it. It's a t-shirt, pajama, Jordan 2021 Skybox Metal Universe PMG purple. Apparently purple was the color that they chose for the serial number to 1 of 1, and it is a BGS 6.5, which I'm not sure really matters because it's a 1 of 1. This card sold for $32,412. This card sold for almost as much as a jambalaya mixed gem BGS 9.5, which sold for $36,600. Let me know in the comments, are you team throwback retro pretend to be PMG 1 of 1, or are you give me the sure thing, give me the card that's now 25 years old that had over 10,000 pack odds, that's in gem mint condition, which makes it pretty damn rare for the same price? I don't know. If you'd have asked me what this card would have sold for last night, I'd have said $10,000. But there's some people out there, high-end Jordan collectors, that think $32,000 was not enough because it's a 1 of 1. And it's the first new Metal Universe 1 of 1, which to me just makes me think they could just print another one and another one and another one. So I don't know where the carousel stops. For that reason, I'm going to stay in the 90s because that's the lane and the decade that I know and love. But going back to the BGS 9.5 Jambalaya, here you go. A low sale last night, $36,600, down from $48,000, down from $52,000 back in August, right? So only 4 months, the cards dropped just nasty from $52,000 to $36,600. So surprisingly low sale for that card in my personal opinion. Next, we've got an authentic, this is a Sign of the Times Gold. So this one's serial numbered. No, it's not serial numbered, but it's die cut. I thought these were serial numbered, but again, I don't know anything about autographs. Apparently it's not. I know these are a big deal amongst Jordan autograph collectors, and that's about all I know. So I'll just read what I see. PSA 9, 10 for the autograph, $47,580 with 39 bids. So that was a hotly contested die-cut Jordan autograph from the 90s playing years. That's a big, big card right there. $47,580. Next, we've got a Star 101. Let's just take it up a notch. We saw the 7 and what it sold for, and we looked at the chart over the last 2 years and over the last 1 year. Let's go check out the chart for the PSA 8. This one does $63,303. I know it's somewhere in here. There he is. And let's go to the 8s. All right, Pop 21 now. Obviously, that Pop's constantly going to be evolving as people crack their BGSs, and there you go. This is kind of what I'm talking about. If you go back to August, just right around the time that PSA decided to grade these things, the Pop was 4, and as you can see, it's gone up 17 to Pop 21. Pop 21 is still a really low number. Does it matter? Is there a difference between 4 and 21? Yeah, probably. And the price guide and the chart that we're about to look at would probably dictate that there is. But there's the PSA 8 over the last 3 months. It's up 8.1%. This one, however, is down from 69,000 to 63, 68, 58. So, nothing really shocking with that sale right there. If we look at this card over the last year, you're looking at a card that's up 20%. If we look at over the last 2 years, my guess is it's way down. Yeah, down 36% because people were jumping on the low pop theory and thinking they could buy it and then flip it and do whatever. I guess, it's Pop 21 today. I assume it's going to be Pop 50 in a couple of years. That's just my personal guess. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, and let me know what you think about that card and that grade, and just generally speaking, what's going on with that PSA grading, the Star 101 in the comments below. I'm of the theory that I'm just going to continue to wait and pick up the card, after all of it's settled. And it's not going to ever perfectly settle, but after 5 years of this PSA opening its doors to grading that card, I assume by that point, anybody who was going to crack and cross probably would have done it, or at least the vast majority of people who were considering it, and then we'll have a better idea, although we'll still never know what the real pop report is for BGS because it's going to be inflated, because most of the people who crack it and then submit it to PSA or cross it to PSA, those BGS pop report registrations never come out of the pop report. So the BGS pop report's always going to be overinflated. There's just no way around that. It's always going to be that way. SGC 10 Jordan does 67,100, and then we've got a BGS 9 star that does 68,183. Again, you buy the card, not the grade, but what are you guys looking for? Which one would you rather have for 68 and 63? You got the PSA 8 versus the old school BGS 9. Are you a PSA fanboy like me, or are you BGS 9 is fine? I collect this card, this particular card. If I ever do buy one, I'm buying the 8.5 because I'm trying to collect the whole Star Jordan set 1 through 25 in the BGS 8.5 grade. So BGS 8.5 is my grade, whether I like BGS or PSA or not. That is what I am going to be looking for. But the BGS 9 is a pretty big time card, and as you can see, it does 68,183. Now for the fun stuff. The Team Skybox Star Rubies. I was lucky enough and blessed enough to pick up one of these cards in the last 60 days from the Cross Country Collection. This is the second time it's sold since I picked my copy up. This BGS 9 copy sells for $75,640. Let's pull up the sales data on this card. Here it is. Guys, for you, those of you who don't watch my channel, I am coming back from the flu. My whole family got the flu, so I sound like I need an oxygen tank, and I probably do. The more I talk, the less I can breathe. So, in case you haven't noticed, I like to kind of talk fast to get these videos done in a timely fashion, even though we're already at 30 minutes. This was the 9 that sold last night in the Goldin December Elite, $75,640. That is actually, what is that? $18,000 approximately less than the PSA 8, which sold about 4 weeks ago. So I think this was a little bit less than people were expecting. They expected it to sell for a little bit more. And here's what's interesting. If you go back just to July of 2022, this exact same serial number 32 out of 50 BGS 9 copy sold for $91,200. And so somebody dropped 16 grand, a little bit shy of 16 grand from July of 2022 to December 30th of 2023. I don't know where the proper number is, but those two sales are irreconcilable. The 8 should probably not sell for 18,000 more than the 9. So either the 8 oversold, and it was in Goldin as well, or the 9 undersold, or maybe it was a little bit of both. Let me know what you think in the comments. But that's a tier 1 Jordan card by anybody's standards, serial number to only 50, and just absolutely now having held one in hand, it is a card that I very, very much appreciate. And another card that I've gotten to hold in hand that I also have a copy of is this 1997 Finest Embossed Refractor. This is a PSA 9 copy, and this was one of the tales of the tape last night. So we looked at a couple of other cards that made huge jumps on a little bit smaller scale. This is a big boy tier 1 card, serial number to only 74. Remember, it's die cut, it's gold, it's embossed, and it's a refractor. And it's die cut, and it's serial number 74. This is a monster right here, a tier 1 Jordan card by anybody's standards, and this is an exceptional copy. Greening being the primary culprit for bringing grades down and kind of detracting from eye appeal. This one is absolutely crystal clear as a bell, and an impeccable PSA 9 copy, despite the fact that it's in a PSA old label, which I don't really give a shit about when you're talking about cards like this. You buy the card, not the grade, to some extent. 80,520 for the GER last night. Let's pull it up. Here it is. This card in PSA 9 has sold twice in the last 2 years. 3 times, my fault. 51,000 in October of 2022. 52,000 about a year ago, and then last night it balloons, it swells, it emerges 30,000 higher at $80,520, up 56% over the last 2 years. A huge sale, and again, a lot of that, I personally, you can comment below and let me know what you think, but I attribute a lot of that huge price jump to just the particular clarity and quality of color that this one displays. And again, I can't go in each card and zoom in, especially in Goldin, because it'll screw you up. And when you back out on Goldin, it sits you right back to the beginning, and then you got to resort everything. Goldin is a disaster when it comes to trying to look at a card closely and then go back to where you were. You can never get back where you were. Why they can't hire somebody to fix that shit, I have no idea, but it is absolutely maddening and frustrating. But this card right here, if you take a really close look at it on your own time, you'll notice it is an exceptional copy. So congrats to whoever picked that card up, and congrats to the seller, because that's a big time sale right there for $80,000. That's a big boy card, a tier 1 Jordan. And then we got 3 more tier 1 Jordans on the top row. This is it. This is Murderer's Row. These are the cards everybody was waiting to see. It kind of is reminiscent of what we saw in the PWCC Premier auction in December that ended right before Christmas. 3 big Jordan cards at the top. Everybody was curious about where they would sell in comparison to each other. The 98 Skybox Premium Star Rubies, the other Star Rubies, one of the other Star Rubies, I should say, serial number to 50 as well. PSA 6 does $158,600. I've got it pulled up right here. Here we go. There's our 158 600. The last sale was, again, 9 days ago on Premier PWCC. The PSA 8 sold for $186,000. So that being said, with the last sale in the books at $186 for a PSA 8, this PSA 6 selling for $158. Does that make sense to you? Is that about what we expected? I don't know. I'll let you guys chime in. I'll let you guys comment below. The only thing I'll comment to say is, this is one of the greatest Jordan cards in the world, and 158,600 substantiates that theory. It is a PSA 6. Would you rather have a 7 or an 8? Sure, but that's one of those cards that you're just not gonna see that often, and it's actually, we've been seeing it more often than I think we will in the future. Let's see, since 2022, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times this card has sold. I don't think we're going to see this card sell 6 times in the next 2 years. That's just my personal opinion. I think it's an inorganic result of cards running up so fast that people who never thought they were going to take profits on their beloved Jordan cards, even true collectors, have said, enough's enough. I've got to sell this card. It just ran up too much, and I think that's kind of where we are, is we're kind of transitioning out of that phase of the hobby. And then next to that, we've got a card, my favorite Michael Jordan card in the world, number 1 without question. And again, that's throwing out the PMG green because I think it's unattainable. For me at least, but this PMG Red is one of my favorite cards in the world. This card had a disastrous result last night. This card did not go for as much as I think most high-end Jordan collectors were expecting, as most other PMG Red copies were expecting. My hand's raised. I have a PMG Red Jordan BGS 8. I expected this card to go for significantly more than $161,040. It might be the PSA Authentic Altered label that scared people away. Maybe it was because there were so many other Jordan options available in this particular Goldin auction. I don't know. But I've got it up here. And here you go. This Authentic Altered sold for $161,000 last night. The last card that sold publicly, the last 97 Metal Universe PMG Red, and correct me if I'm wrong, unless I searched wrong. Whenever I search, I always, instead of avoid the precious metal gems versus the words PMG, I just type in 97 Metal Red Michael Jordan 23, and usually I get it right. The last one that I see was a PSA 4 that sold for $342,000 on Goldin in September of this year. That's 4 months ago. $342,000. A BGS 8 before that this year sold for $360,000. So for an Authentic Altered to sell for $161,040, that seems like a big drop. Again, I don't have any particular details or facts about this individual alteration and why it was altered. Was it recolored? Was it trimmed? I don't know all the details on that. People who have looked at it may know more. You might be able to click in and read the description. I don't know. I just don't have time to do all that stuff for everybody. All I can look at is the numbers. And regardless of how the card was altered, it is authentic. And 161 to me, just to me, and I know this is going to sound funny because it's a piece of cardboard, that seems like a very good price for whoever picked that card up. If you were looking to get into the red PMG club, the real PMGs I'm talking about in 1997, I'm not talking about the t-shirt crap. If you're looking to buy a real PMG Michael Jordan red, this might be the best price you'll ever see again because it's authentic altered. So again, in a PSA authentic altered label, it's a red label color match and all that, and I think that's really cool. So if there's ever a buy the card, not the grade, or buy the card, not the label, this is one. I like the 161 purchase price for whoever picked that card up. So let me know in the comments who picked it up. I hadn't paid any attention or checked Instagram or any of that stuff. I wanted to get in the office and put this video out for you guys. And then here we go. What a surprise. The card that blew the others out of the water. It wasn't really close. $34,000 more than the closest card that came in second was the card that everybody has recently decided they want to shit on because there's too many of them out there. 320, 322, whatever the number is. The go-to ho-hum 1986 Fleer number 57 PSA 10 high pop Jordan rookie card, and I'm being sarcastic here, obviously, sells for $195,200 with 17 bids. Here you go. Here's your chart. Everybody can poop on it all they want to. Over the last 1 year, the card's up. I don't know what else to say. Over the last 2 years, the card's up. It's hit 252,000 on the chart. It's hit as low as 144,000 on the chart, but that seems like a long time ago because recently this card has been consistently in the between the 180 and the $200,000 mark, as you can see from the chart. If we go the last 3 months, You got 4 or 5 sales. 187,000 is the 193,000 is the average. 187 is the lowest. 204 is the highest. So that to me looks like a floor. It looks like a flat floor. It looks like a kitchen floor. 322 is very high pop, but you got to understand, for every one person out there that's interested in buying, you know, a Star Rubies or a Jambalaya or a 2021 Michael Jordan PMG T-shirt purple card, there are probably 322 times as many people that want to buy Michael Jordan's 1986 Fleer number 57 PSA 10. It's just the way it is. It's the way it's always going to be. So you either love it or you hate it. I just call it like I see it, even though I'm a little bit biased. But this 86 Fleer PSA 10 does $195,200. So basically a consistent sale. I don't think that's higher or lower than anybody expected last night. It hit the number that everybody was expecting. So let me know what you guys think. That's it. That's our Michael Jordan. That's 48 Michael Jordans from last night's Goldin auction. I must say, I'm a huge PWCC fan, and obviously I'm an affiliate partner of PWCC. This Goldin auction was freaking stacked. If you were looking for high-end Jordan cards, this was the place to be last night. The PWCC December premiere auction was also badass to the extreme, but this lineup last night was freaking nuts. And it was fun just to go through these top 48 Jordan cards and look at some of these absolute whales. You had 2-star rubies, you had 3 or 4 star 101s in pretty damn high grade. You had the red PMG, you had the PSA 10 Jordan, you had the gold embossed refractor. I mean, if we're just going to go back, hell, let's just go back and count the tier 1 Jordan cards. You had 2 legacy collections. That's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, you're talking about no platinum medallions, Ultra Stars Gold, 11, you're talking about probably 11 tier 1 Jordan cards and maybe as many as 10 to 12 more tier 2 Jordan cards from the MJ hierarchy. That's insane. That was just a really, really fun auction recap to do. I'd love to get your thoughts. I'd love to know what you guys think. I'd love to get your input and hear what you guys think about the direction the Jordan market's going. I'm sorry I couldn't do all basketball cards in the Goldin December Elite auction. I'm sure there was some other fantastic basketball cards that were bought and sold last night, Saturday night. I just didn't have time to do all that. And to be honest with you, a vast majority of my channel is people that are interested in what's going on with Jordan card prices, and so I just stuck with the Jordans because I got some other videos to put out on this New Year's Eve, and then I got to get home and blow up things like Americans like to do and eat hot dogs and get fatter and shoot fireworks and make explosions. I got to do that this afternoon with the kiddos. So I hope you guys have a great New Year's Eve. Let me know in the comments what you think about these 48. What went higher than you thought? What went lower than you thought? What did I miss? Again, I want to reiterate, I cannot become an expert on all 48 of these cards. I do not have time to even go in and look at some of these cards. Some of these cards I don't even have time to look and make sure that the autograph was a PSA 10 or BGS 10 on the back, right? Because again, on Goldin, when you click into a card and you click out, all hell breaks loose, and then I just get raging pissed. But let me know what you think in the comments. Hopefully you guys enjoyed these videos. Have a great 2024. We're about to transition over. Some of you guys may be watching this in 2024. Shame on you. You should jump on these earlier, but I'm just kidding. I hope you guys have a great 2024 in the hobby. I'm optimistic, which is not a surprise because I've been accused of being a positivity pumper, but I am optimistic and I am very excited. And again, collecting cards is all about perspective, just like life is all about perspective. You cannot control your environment, but you can certainly control how you react to your environment and the perspective that you take and how you how you react to it. How do you react to a market where the value of the types of cards that you like has dipped? Well, you can either buy into it and run into the burning building, or you can flee and run away. To each his own. I'm going to run into the burning building when it comes to 1990s Michael Jordan inserts and parallels. You guys know that. I've been on fire in the building for the last 12 months, but I'm going to go down. I'm going to go down with it. I'm going to go down fighting for sure. Let me know if you guys are like me, or if you guys are thinking maybe it's time to get out of it. By the way, if you are trying to get out of 90s Jordan inserts and parallels, I'm real easy to find on Instagram, Cajun Cardboard. Message me because I'm always looking to pick up those cards, featuring Michael Jeffrey Jordan that I don't already own. So I'm sure I'm not alone in that way, as these sales from last night's auction would substantiate. There are other people that are also looking to pick up Monster Jordan cards for the price of like 3 Teslas. So thank you guys for watching. Keep collecting. Stay positive in the hobby. Have a great 2024 and a great New Year's Day. I hope your football teams win. And peace.